Yeah, start streaming. Okay, are we live? Are we live? Oh god, microphone's falling. Holy hell. But late motherfucker. Oh my god, and once again I forgot to open up my own goddamn YouTube channel. Whoever may be in the chat, I saw Tamor Bashir with the oneth. Got the oneth in there, I saw that. Give me a second while I log into my own YouTube channel so I can moderate my own stream. Because we are FistTruck is part of a grassroots movement, just like Occupy Wall Street is. FistTruck at FistTruck. Cool. Oh god, that's me. Jose, welcome in. Welcome in. I'm grassroots, bro. We're grassroots over here. Hello, Ritu Pecked. Ritu Peck. I think there was a T at the end of that, but yeah. Welcome in. Welcome everyone. Happy Friday. There's no music coming in for me, and there definitely won't be any coming in for you because one of my streams got copyright, or content ID'd, so going forward, we're just going silent. I think that's why I did the last stream anyway. Why am I explaining that? Because I'm trying to fill in the dead air while I scroll through YouTube music and pick the songs I want to listen to. That's why. Oh, fuck. Letter L. Brought to you by the letter L. Or not. You got played, bro. Alright, whatever. Listen to some thank you scientist. Cool! Hell yeah, man. I love grass. Yo, I love grass too, man. I eat grass and dirt because I'm a fucking subhuman. So welcome in. Happy Friday, everyone. Whoever, to all those, to more Jose and anyone else who may or may not be here. Happy Friday once again. Hope y'all had a good week. I've had a mostly productive week. I've been trying to stay on top of my own work schedule because I am a chronic procrastinator and I will wait until the last day to do everything. So, as per usual, at least it wasn't applicable with the last episode I did where I was responding to comments, but definitely with this one, timestamps in the description and obviously in the video sometime after this video or this stream is over. Probably tomorrow, I imagine. Yeah, and I think that's about all the housekeeping stuff. I don't know why today I started 1 minute late. Because I don't know what it is with my bowels. I mean, it probably has something to do with the fact that I wake up like at 3:30 p.m. I would wager, right? My bowels just know when I'm about to start stream. Like on a regular day, it might take time sometimes. Like I'll eat breakfast, and then it takes a little bit of time, then I use the bathroom. But when I have to start a stream, yo, my bowels are like, bro. Yeah, bro. You're gonna shit. And so that's why I started late. Yeah. All right. Happy Krima. Merry Krima. Yo, happy November. Yo, it's fucking November. Also, happy November 4th. I know all you might be having big things going on in your lives. Maybe you don't. Some things are important, some are not. But Devin Townsend came out with a new album today. So, you bet after the stream is over and when I'm done working on shit today, I'm going to listen to it because nothing's more important than that. It's already in the library, man. Yeah, man. Yeah. So, without further ado, let us get into, pull a Keemstar, right? Let's get into the news. You're doing the November challenge, don't you? Are you talking about the No Nut November thing, or is that what you mean? Because don't you have a significant other? Oh, okay, got it. No shame, no. Oh, Movember, would that be it? So yeah, let's get into the news. After I figure out how to do all this stuff. Man, I don't need a stream deck. What is a stream deck? No, the Steam Deck. No, stream deck. Okay. Boom. Okay. All right. Okay. Okay. All right. All right. All right. Cool. EA and Marvel are fucking. And I will see what you said in just a sec. Once I find my own browser window. There we go. EA and Marvel are fucking. I didn't know this. I mean, it's been like what? It's been like 4 weeks, right? 3 or 4 weeks since 4 weeks since we've done the news. So a lot has happened in the past month, and I do want to talk about the Bayonetta voice actress thing. I know I'm very late on that, but since that's at this point old news, if there's time left over, then we talk about it. But I saw this last night, and I was fucking tripping. I'm like, yo, what? So this, at least I found this on IGN. Oh, as reported by Bloomberg. All right, fuck you, IGN. We're going to the source material. So, apparently... Oh, get the fuck out of here, bro. Register to read more? Alright, going back to the not source material. Oh boy, finally... Yeah, yeah, it's called Iron Man. Oh, fucking Tamora says, oh boy, finally Anthem will be reused. I'm like, yeah, that's Iron Man. Like, I saw some headline yesterday, because, you know, like... When I'm trying to find news articles to talk about, excuse me, I kind of have to like dig through some of the shit, and there's a lot of shit. Like there's like a lot of dumb opinion pieces, which is what I do, but still whatever. And one of them goes like, "Oh, we're finally getting an Iron Man game." I'm like, "Yo, y'all got fucking 2 back on the 360, and those shits were hot garbage. I don't know why you're excited to get another one. I think it's just because." You know, Iron Man, it's like a big AAA thing. Nonetheless, I saw this and I was like, wow, I don't know, like, who else would right, Disney, we'll say Disney because Marvel, you know, they own them. Or, yeah, Disney owns Marvel. Who else would they sign with, right? So apparently it was based on the success of the Star Wars you know, buddy shit that was happening. Let me yeah, it was based on like the Star Wars buddy shit. But this isn't as, I think with the Star Wars one, it says somewhere in here it was like a 10-year deal with Star Wars, which started in what, like 2013 or some shit. I think it says it here. No, it doesn't. Okay. So that you know, that was a very extensive deal. This is just 3 games. I didn't read any, out of all the things I read, I didn't see anything about it being exclusive. So like only Marvel and EA, but from what I imagine it probably is. Nonetheless, I mean, look at what we were getting before. Did Square have an exclusivity deal with Marvel? Because in that time, what games did they make? Was it just the Avengers and Guardians? And then Avengers was like kind of doo-doo, and Guardians was not. So and I don't even know how well Guardians did. Yeah, that was it. That was it. So apparently EA is doing this thing. You know, I'm eventually going to work on a video called, like, I think pretty soon I want to work on a video called Why Do AAA Games Suck? Under the guise that they don't. At least not all of them, right? Like, because when we look at the... I'm surprised Disney's sticking with EA. I assume it's just because EA makes all the fucking money, right? So, like, you know, what Star Wars games have EA put out? Since this whole deal thing happened, it was Battlefront 1 and 2, Jedi Fallen Order, and then Squadrons, right? And Squadrons and Fallen Order were received well. I mean, I love Fallen Order. Fallen Order is very fun. And Battlefront, I didn't play Battlefront 1, I played it for a little bit, and I was just like, this seems weak. And then Battlefront 2 was like the colossal mess that we all know that it became. But with that being said, you know, I guess trying to be objective about it, Battlefront 2 is pretty good. Battlefront 2, like the act of playing the game is pretty good. It was fun. It was fun. It wasn't like this, you know, crazy, deep, rich experience, but it was fun. And if you love Star Wars and, you know, you like gargle those balls or whatever. Yeah, Battlefront 2 on launch was absolutely tragic. And it sucks because like gameplay wise, once again, it's really good. But the monetization of the game so royally fucked it over. Like the monetization was so baked into the progression that when they took it out, you still couldn't, like, you still felt the effects of it, because the loot boxes gave you the cards that you would put on the characters to make them stronger. So, and the thing is that the cards that you unlocked, yeah, it was so stupid. And then the cards that you unlocked made you stronger. Like, unless Call of Duty's changed, I haven't played it in a very fucking long time, at least in multiplayer. But at least back in Modern Warfare 2 and, you know, Modern Warfare 3 and Black Ops 2 and that kind of stuff, and Modern Warfare 1, the old ones, you know, when you leveled up, you didn't get stronger, you just got more stuff. Yeah, you got more choices. I think that was it. So leveling up afforded you more ways. $20 for a sniff of Yoda's shoe, and yeah, and fucking like what was it, like 2,000 hours to be able to lick Darth Vader's taint. Also, welcome in, Two Dads. How you doing? I hope you're chilling, bro. Yoda doesn't wear shoes. Yeah, well, the thing is that the Battlefront was not lore appropriate. Yoda was wearing Yeezys or something. I mean, if you see how he's jumping, either that or Jay's, you know. So Sun's got to help him catch all that air when he's flipping around. I'm good, my man. Getting through. Oh shit, yeah. Feel better, bro. Feel better. You know, hopefully you have been vaccinated, and boosted and all that kind of stuff. So you know, it wasn't too bad. But feel better, man. So yeah, Battlefront 2, like the Ritu-Pect, Derek Jeter, still alive. Yeah, like Battlefront 2 was good. Like after the monetization and like the most egregious shit got out of the way, like me and my friends, we had fun with it. I'm not gonna like, you know, I'm not gonna to bullshit and say that like, oh yeah, the game's fucking trash. But the monetization is so royally fucked things up. Is that even once you took it out, you would still have people who are like way stronger than you just because they have the cards, and you getting the cards 100% chance. And so then you have moments where fucking Emperor Palpatine is like taking all these dudes to the fucking torture chamber and shocking everyone to death, and it's fucking stupid because it's so broken. You had a car. I forgot what the cars did for him, but it was like either the lightning does more damage, chains between more players, or both. But I know it had to have been one of those at least. Nonetheless, I'm like 50-50 on this. Now, like the knee-jerk reaction to seeing something like this is, oh, this is gonna suck ass. But first, let me clarify: I don't give a fuck about Marvel. So, you know, like I like Star Wars. Star Wars is you know, near and dear to my heart, but Marvel can I don't care. So if they release Iron Man and Iron Man turns out to be like, you know, the American version of Genshin Impact or some shit where you need to Iron Man becomes a waifu and all the other different Iron Men are different waifus that you can unlock. I wouldn't care. That would actually be fucking hilarious. That would be so fucking funny. And I wouldn't care. I assume that's not what they're gonna do. I hope that's not what they're gonna do. But if they do, it makes no difference to me. I guess compared to what we were getting before, you know, could be worse because it was worse. I mean, I love Guardians. Guardians was great. It was a little too long, but it was still fucking, Guardians was great. Avengers was not. I mean, the campaign was all right, but whatever. it, it's like the knee-jerk reaction to think, you know, once again, like, this is going to be terrible. But, like, on the flip side, who else would Marvel partner with? Like, if not EA, right? They did Square. Square didn't work out, apparently, or, you know, from what, assuming this is an exclusivity thing. That didn't work out. So what were their other options? Like, who else would they work with? The Activision? Because I'm telling you that probably be worse. Like that I feel like that would be worse. And not to mention, didn't I feel like Activision did have the Marvel stuff back, like, what, in the mid 2000s, right, or something, mid to late? Because I think they published a Deadpool game and like the X-Men Origins Wolverine game, the X-Men Legends and shit. That was all active. All that shit was Activision. Like, I guess some of the stuff was good. I love Marvel Ultimate Alliance. Some of it was good, so, you know, I can't bullshit that. But at the same time, there was so much. Let Respawn make a Marvel FPS. Yeah, man, fucking, I don't know who uses guns and just get Cable, a fucking Cable game, you know, or something like that, or the Punisher game. Yo, a Punisher game by Respawn, yo, that'd be pretty. All right, I said I don't care about Marvel, but there are like a couple characters that I think are really cool. Yo, that'd be pretty sick, man. Fucking, yeah. Could use powers, melee too. Yeah, you know, I keep forgetting. See, so I was trying to think of a character that only uses guns because it's Respawn, and I'm like, oh yeah, they make, you know, Titanfall and Apex, so, you know, I wouldn't want them to make a fucking melee game. But then I was like, oh yeah, they also did the Star Wars game, the Jedi Fallen Order. And that was just, it was a fucking Souls-like. Wolverine playing like Genji with Dragon. Yeah, honestly, yo, I mean, yeah, if it was first person, yeah. Yo, if they made another Wolverine game that was like the old Wolverine game, I'm not gonna lie, I would buy it. Probably on sale, but I would fucking buy that game because it was just a God of War clone and a just shamelessly fun one at that too. Granted, you would fight the same boss like 7 times throughout the game, but it was supposed to be, but it was good. Square is supposed to be making one. IRC. It's fucking. I don't know internet lingo. Give me a sec. IRC, if I recall correctly. Okay, got it. If I remember. Okay, cool. Thank you. A first-person shooter, or like a God of War clone, like a Wolverine God of War clone, or something like that, or like a Wolverine action game, because we don't get those games enough, man. That was like what I feel like I have a horrible knack of harkening back to my old videos, but the my inevitable fatigue of Souls-like video, I bring up like other trends that went and had come and gone, and amongst those God of War clones, it was like Castlevania Lords of Shadow was a fucking banger. It wasn't a Castlevania game, I get it, but it was fucking fun. Dante's Inferno, the Wolverine game, Darksiders, like, damn, those shits were banging. Sorry. Action, I think same engine as Avengers. They did a teaser forever ago, I feel. I mean, Avengers, like, I think the combat in Avengers was solid. It was fun. Like, playing as each of them was fun. Yeah. Playing as each of them was fun. It was just the situations they put them in, and like, the enemies you fought were so fucking boring, man. They were so boring. It was just robots, and either they were beat sticks, they were beat sticks, or they were just like brain dead fucking idiots. Like, it was so boring. And then also the other way they would supplement difficulties by you getting shot at by like 50 dudes at the same time. I think you're looking for Lost Soul Aside. What is that? 18 minutes of new gameplay, 2021. I mean, there's that game, what, Solstice, right? I think is the name of it. I do want to try. Oh god, shut up, shut up, shut up, shut up. I don't want to hear that. All right, he's running. Oh, cool, 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 cool. Yeah, I mean it's flashy. It's flashy and fast. That's all I can. God damn it! I closed the wrong window. I'm so bad at this. Yeah, looks cool. Looks cool. Looks cool. I dig it. Just always my policy to not get excited for new games. Oh god. But yeah. So I see this Marvel EA thing and I don't know. I'm 50-50 on it. Like who else once again, who else would Disney sign up with for this deal? You know, like it's a weird thing where like if you leave it open to anybody to make a game, I think that's the best. You know, that's probably the best outcome. But then the thing is that the only people who are gonna be able to afford to make the games, because I assume they would have to pay for, depending on whether it's like how open the license is. You know, you could have like a end of the world scenario like fucking Warhammer, where, and I mean I really don't care about the Warhammer universe, but Warhammer games are like all over the fucking place. Some of them, you got like Vermintide, banger. And then you have like the 1 million other Warhammer games that come out that are fucking caca. I've been following it for years. It was originally by one guy that got a publisher to give him a team. That is tight. That is how like, that is sort of how the Souls game started. Not really. But the idea really just came from Miyazaki, and then they were like, "Here you go. If you fail, whatever." And here we are. Gears of Warhammer. Oh, wasn't that the oh my god, Space Marine, right? And now they're finally making a sequel after like 10 years or 11 years or 12 years, however long of the first one coming out. I only played a demo for the first one. It seemed cool, and then when I saw my friends playing, like, I'm good, or maybe I'll play it one day when it's like, you know, if I could get it for either free or like $5, which is probably very possible right now. Had to drink water. But yeah, nonetheless, you know, if they left it open, they're like, okay, cool, as long as you can like afford the license, then you can make a game on Marvel. If they somehow strangely did something like that, you know, the license would be mega expensive, so the only people who would be able to make Marvel games would be, you know, big publishers anyway. So I don't trust EA to do this well, but I trust them as much as anyone else, as any other big publisher, I guess. I'm gonna lean towards, it'll probably be all right. At least I imagine they're working on an Iron Man game. I just still can't get over how people like, we're finally getting an Iron Man game, and it's like, yo, there were 2 Iron Man games on 360, and they were fucking garbage, man. Anyway, moving on. Let's see, what do we got next? I don't want to talk about next. Ooh, yeah, let's talk about this. PSVR 2 got a price tag and a release date. And it's coming out next, I think it's like February. Yeah, it's like February 22nd next year. So 2023. So if you put that date into American, it's 2/2/2/2/3. Yeah, but more importantly, I mean, cool release date. Awesome, nice. Yo, it's $550, bro. This shit is $550. It's more than a PS5 in America. You know, if or the USA. If you're overseas, then that's a different story. Unless they're going to charge more for relative to how much PS5 costs in a region. Yo, $550. I'm just keeping the headline open because of where I found it. Yo, $550 for this. Just so you know, I'm just going to speak about my personal experience with the first PSVR. Waste of money. Like, it was, oh God, I like half regret, sort of regret, not 100% regret buying the first one. But I kind of do, because I never really used it all that much. Like, when I first got it, I was super excited about it. I think as we all are with new things in general. Um, and I did play it. I just realized that I said I'm not super excited about Marvel, or I could give a shit about Marvel stuff. I'm wearing like a Deadpool shirt that says maximum effort. Whatever. So like I got it. I was excited about it. It was fun, but there was nothing for the most part. There were no games I played in VR that were groundbreaking, I guess, or you know, like some life-changing experience or something. Most of them were either like shitty ports of a game that you could play normally, a la Skyrim, or it was some like really gimmicky game that was fun. It was fun, but it wasn't something that's like, oh, this is worth the price tag kind of thing. At least specifically on the first PSVR, I see like, at least with these controllers, clearly Sony like stopped sniffing farts and huffing glue to be able to actually realize that the controllers they used for the previous one were fucking garbage. I get that they were PlayStation Move controllers, so they were just kind of trying to use what was already there. I don't care. It sucked. It really, like, that shit was so inconsistent, and more importantly, just unintuitive. Like that, you know, when you have like an Oculus, so I got the Quest, and like when you have the Quest controller, like sits in your hand naturally, and it's great. It's comfortable. You know, you don't have to feel like you have to do anything. I don't have to like stretch or some shit to hit buttons. And the PlayStation one, it's like, oh, hit the triangle, square, whatever, like the face buttons, except they're all little nubs around the big middle button, and you keep forgetting which one's which. And then if you want to move forward, I remember that it's like, since, you know, these have sticks on them, in like Skyrim, if you wanted to move forward, you had to like lean the thing forward. It's like, who the fuck does that, man? Who does that? Like, I get VR is supposed to be immersive. I don't press a stick to move forward in real life. But, I mean, I'll definitely say that in real life. I don't just do this with my body when I'm walking forward. Like, it's not Sonic. So I'm happy to see that they changed the controller. But $550, the fact that it costs more than the price of, like, the prerequisite to getting this is $500. If we're just speaking in US, $400 or $500, depending on which console you get, or which you know, variant you get. And you spend $550 on top of that, so you're looking at least, oh, I mean, after taxes, it's going to be $1,000, definitely, depending where you are. But it's $1,000 to get into this. That's now when you compare it to PC, I understand it's not as bad as that, right? Like I understand it's not as bad as that. So cool, you know, for PC you need XPC to get it, you know, to start playing. And if you want a gaming PC, you know, you're for VR, I'm just spitballing, but you probably need something that's at least like $800 to $1,200. And then you have to get the VR for it. Or you could also just get the Quest, which doesn't need anything. And that's how much do they charge? I think this article says how much they charge for the Quest right now. $400? You know, and it's a standalone product. You don't need anything for it. And you're not also, I guess, while you are technically tied to Facebook or Meta or whatever the fuck they want to call themselves, ecosystem, if you get the Quest and you just intend to use it as as like a standalone thing. But the fact that I can hook up my Quest to my computer and I'm not just tethered to that environment, like that's such a hard sell, man. That's such a hard sell. I'm sure people are still gonna buy it, and I guess at the end of the day, what's really gonna matter is the games that come out for it. And if the games that come out, for the PSVR are like, what's the word I'm looking for? You know, groundbreaking or revolutionary for VR. I doubt it. I feel like if I'm going to see a game like that, it's probably going to come from the PC space, but you know, that's you know, that's probably me being pretentious or something. More importantly, I just think the freedom that you have if you buy like a Quest, or you know, or if you want to go like the extra mile, I guess like the Valve Index or something. And then the fact that you're hooked up to the PC, you know, you can use it as like a web browser. You can, it's not the most intuitive experience, and but I get that. I'm just saying that you could do more with it as opposed to being in one enclosed, you know, like what the PlayStation stuff is, where it's just going to be one small environment, and you can't even play the old PSVR games on it. I understand why, because the old PSVR games used a completely different controller. So I get that, but still, you know, like for someone like me who bought PSVR games, and you know, some of them were fun, some of them were like meh, but for me who bought PSVR games, if I were to get the second, the PSVR 2, all of those would just like be, I can't play them on it. And I'd have to rehook the first one. And the first one sucks. In terms of like a headset itself, like the hardware sucks. So, to me, this seems like madness. It seems like madness. That's it. Excuse me. Nonetheless, moving on. Let's see. What do we got here? I guess since we're on the subject of PlayStation, this one comes from IGN. Apparently, oh god, no videos. So apparently, Sony has lost, or PlayStation Plus subscribers have fallen by almost 2 million, which I think, yeah, right here it says 4%. Since Sony revamped the PlayStation Plus service, which I find interesting. It seems like it had the adverse effect, but I imagine there's like a mixture of people who, because I think somewhere in here they point out that Sony says that the percentage of people who have adopted PlayStation Plus on PS5 is higher than the percentage of people who have it on PS4. Now I don't know if that's like, you know, one's given up for the other, like getting traded for the other kind of thing. But I also imagine it might have to do with people, with like how hard it is to get a PS5 and people just saying fuck it and switching to something else. I don't know. Is it like still, is this still like really, really hard? I guess if I check out Best Buy. Best Buy. Is it still really, really hard to get a PlayStation 5? New Sony PlayStation 5 sold out. Yeah, that's fucking crazy, yo. It's been 2 years. What about an Xbox? I mean, I get, you know, Xbox isn't as popular, but still. Add to cart? Add to cart. Yeah. If it says add to cart, I guess that means I could get it. So, I imagine there's like, with how hard it is to get a PS5, and it's we're hitting 2 years since the fucking thing came out. People are probably just getting sick of like trying to get one, and I imagine they're jumping ship to either Xbox or PC. I assume more likely than not PC. And then I'm also, a part of me also thinks that because of, I felt like when they announced the new PlayStation Plus thing, the messaging was kind of confusing. I think. So I imagine some people were like, oh shit, I don't want that. And also at the same time, I also imagine that it's kind of the perspective that, you know, I guess like missing out, like, oh, hey, if I, you know, the PlayStation Plus I currently have doesn't get me English. The PlayStation Plus I currently have will no longer give me everything that PlayStation Plus has to offer. So I also imagine that, you know, there are some people out there who are like, oh, fuck this, I'm not doing it, like, you know, shitty business practices or whatever. I guess compared to Game Pass, this is still technically cheaper, but also compared to Game Pass, this is only on one platform. I have PlayStation Plus Premium, I think it is, the highest tier of it. And I can confidently say that it's not worth the money. The one under it, extra, I guess that's what's right, what it says right there. I think that one's worth it. That one's pretty solid. Like I guess I can't complain too much because it technically has paid for itself. PS what was reactionary and kind of it was definitely like, you know what this reminds me of? The PS4 Pro. This is Sony doing the PS4 Pro. Actually no, there's two things. And the fucking VR. I feel like Sony rushed into the PS4 Pro and the PSVR without thinking about it. Because the PSVR came out and was just reusing old shitty hardware for everything but the headset. So then once you actually do it, and then on top of that, since it's running on the PlayStation 4, almost every VR game you would play in PSVR you would get the illest screen door effect. But also, I think even worse was that everything looked like they were coated in fucking like cotton or Rice Krispies. Like all the graphics were so crunchy. And I think at least like normally I'm not going to nitpick on that because I do love playing some boomer shooters and I do play old games all the time. But when you're in VR, you want like a really immersive, seamless experience. And with how the performance would be in games, especially on PlayStation, it was ass. It was ass. Especially once, like if I hook up the Quest to my computer right now, I get, my computer, like a PS4 back then was a PS4 Pro was like $400. I paid like $3,000 for this fucking computer, but still, it's all about the experience. And at the end of the day, this gives me a proportionately better experience, but it's in between it being Pepe has made it to YouTube. Oh, I don't see it. Do you have BTTV on? Is that it? Is that it? Engage with your audience. What the fuck do you mean by that? Oh, shut up. Okay. Oh, okay. And man, I have BTTV, but so yeah, I think it was like PSVR. So PSVR I felt like was Russian market. PS4 Pro, I think, was definitely rushed to market because that whole what was it called, like Project Scorpio or something? Fuck my glasses. Project Scorpio, the Xbox, what would become the Xbox One X. Wait, are they all in there? Are all the emotes in there? Anyway, the Xbox One X, that whole Project Scorpio thing was like rumored and kind of announced for a bit. Like there was a lot of that was like a steadily climbing train or something like that, if you get what I mean. And then Sony was like PS4 Pro coming out this year, so they came out a year before the Xbox One X did, and were nowhere near as powerful as Xbox One X. It was an upgrade over the PS4 Pro in the same way that, like, technically, if you get a Honda Accord, it's better than like the Honda Fit or some shit like that. Like that's, like I guess it's an upgrade, but not a big one. So I hope that analogy made sense. Because I had both Xbox One X. I keep saying Series X, Xbox One X, and the PS4 Pro. And I mean, I definitely got more out of the PS4 Pro. But when it came to like playing, if there were multi-platform games I could get that were like single player, I would just get them on the Xbox because they would just run better. Because the PS4 Pro was just so half-assed. Not to mention that the thing was monstrous. The PS4 Pro, same with the PS5 to be fair, but like the PS4 Pro specifically was so fucking huge. It's like, yo, this shit is bigger than the original console as opposed to the fucking One X, which was smaller than the original Xbox. And that I think the original Xbox had the power supply on the outside too, right? Like the Xbox One. So definitely the PlayStation Plus revamp, same shit. Like they should have sit on it more. I feel like they should have waited a bit. And also the whole not putting when it comes to a value proposition, Game Pass is just way better. It's on 2 platforms, day one exclusives. But what exclusives are actually coming to Game Pass right now? Fucking nothing. Like, if I open up Game Pass and we go through the catalog together, whenever it feels like loading, like, what amongst this is an Xbox exclusive that is gonna have the same impact that, like, God of War is gonna have when it comes out or something, or like get people talking like in the way that people talked about, you know, Spider-Man or something. Looking. Oh, yo, fucking Battletoads, that one, everybody loved that game. Bleeding Edge, that was Among Us. Bleeding Edge, that's another exclusive that everybody definitely played. Oh, Crackdown 3, we got another gem there. That's awesome. Love it. I know I'm gonna be missing some. Definitely skipping on Forza Horizon 5, and yeah, the game's fucking amazing. I love it. Gears 5 and 4 are great. Gears is great, but none yet. Welcome in. Haven't been on Xbox since the whole DRM for fiasco when the Xbox One was coming out, but I'm considering going back at least alongside PlayStation. I have both. I will say for a next gen console, PlayStation just has better games. But if you get Game Pass on Xbox, you'll have more games immediately. Granted, I think over a year, Game Pass comes out to be more expensive because if you get Ultimate, so that'll be for both PC and console, then it's like under $80, as opposed to I think the Super PlayStation Plus is 120, but that tier is fucking useless. Because I mean, I guess playing the classics are cool, but the classics are also like $5. So if I really wanted to play one, I would just buy it. And then streaming games, just it's better than what it used to be, but it's just not where it needs to be. That's for sure. I have both, and I play my PlayStation more. That's what I will say. Yeah, that's about it. That sums it up. If you could get one, that's also the other thing. If you got the hookup when it comes to getting a PlayStation, awesome. Otherwise, the way I did it was just you go to Sony's website and you like reserve a spot or something like that. And 2-3 months later, they contact you going, "Hey man, you can buy a PlayStation." I'm like, I completely forgot I did this. But I will say I think currently, I think the more consumer-friendly console is probably the Xbox. Just because I feel like Game Pass is more of a value. Like the fact that the PlayStation exclusives aren't day one, like in the same way that Xbox is just completely is like one of the least competitive things I think they could have done. But on the flip side, they could kind of get away with it because what exclusives are coming to Xbox, especially now, like Gears 5, banger. Gears 5 is great. Forza Horizon 5, fucking banger. Halo Infinite, the campaign is pretty damn good. Like it's fun. But you know, like there are caveats to at least like Halo Infinite has a big caveat in that the fucking multiplayer still doesn't work properly, and it's been a year. You know, and then there's no God of War, there's no Spider-Man, there's no Ratchet and Clank, there's no I still haven't played it, but Horizon, there's no Ghost of Tsushima, even though I know that was a PS4 game. But you know, you don't have those like same big, you know, impactful games that come out or that get people talking in the same way that like PlayStation does. And yet somehow like Microsoft has a bunch of studios but keeps shitting the bed with that. I don't get it. Nonetheless, I will say that I don't regret buying any of them. At least, I mean, if you got the money, fuck it. If you got the money, isn't gonna make you shit your pants if you buy it. Fuck it. Fuck it. So what else is here? Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of solid stuff on here, but it's just none of it is just none of it has that same oomph. Like, okay, I'm being a fanboy when I say this, I know, but like you could get the Demon Souls remake or remaster. That shit's a remaster. You could get the Demon Souls remaster on PlayStation Plus, and I think that game and kind of what it does, even though it really is just an old school, like it is just a nicer like a PS3 game. It still gives you more than like a shit ton of this when it comes to just the value of being on that platform exclusively. Nostalgia could be it can be. It's one of the reasons why I got it. It is one of the reasons why I got it. It's good. It's fucking good. I fucking I got it. Proceeded to play it like crack. I was on that game like crack and just played it until I got the platinum, and I was like, all right, I think I had my fun. Stop playing. But it was like it's as somebody who did play Demon Souls on the PS3, the PS5 version is just better. It's just better. It's just better. Like, you know, sometimes you get those remasters or remakes or whatever you want to call them that are like, oh yeah, they're an upgrade over the original, but you know, you sacrifice some things. Like the GTA is a big one, right? Like the GTA you know, GTA 3, Vice City, and San Andreas remasters or whatever. Those were terrible. I mean, technically they look better than the originals, and they have a lot of quality of life improvements that make them better than the original games. But they were so borked that it's just some of that, I don't know how to put it, just some of like that mojo that was in the original ones is not there anymore. I'm trying to think what else ran into that problem. Nothing that I can think of right now, but definitely with the Demon Souls remake, it's like if they had the technology at the time, they 100% would have done it this way. Like the atmosphere, like I cannot understate. Like when you see gameplay of the Demon Souls remaster, you're like, wow, that looks amazing. But one thing that I guess you could kind of get this from the videos, but you don't really get it until you actually play it, is the sound. The sound is so good. It's so good. It's so good. And obviously there's going to be a big improvement. We're talking about like a 11-year gap between the original and the remaster. Obviously there's going to be a difference. But I still went back and played it on the PS3 just to see exactly how different are we talking. Oh god, it's just so much better. It's so much better. It's so like and once again, I'm just talking about the sound. The graphics, obviously, like you could literally see that with your eyes, but the sound is so good. You know, it's so good. Like the sound effects when like explosions happen, when the, you know, like a monster slams the ground, when you're connecting with attacks, when you're doing like it's so good. Yeah. Is it worth the price of entry? Yeah, I know. I get nostalgia could be a hell of a thing. $500 to play a game you've already played before is pretty hard. Pretty hard to sell. I'm not gonna lie. Most of what I played on the PS5 is shit that I've already played. I've been playing Elden Ring on it recently for a video, and it's like, well, I also did for the Sword of Shield video, but like I have it on PC. I'm just playing on PS5 because I get a better recording out of it, and HDR is like way nicer on that than PC because Windows and HDR don't get along properly. Excuse me. But still, like the PlayStation Pass, I can at least say it's paid for itself since I got it. Yeah, I played the Spider-Man Miles Morales, so that's like that would have cost me $50 if I bought it, you know, full price. And then I played Returnal, and that would have cost $70 because Sony can suck a dick. Would have cost $70, so I guess by that logic, I saved $120. So it paid for itself. But once again, my recommendation is that if you get it, just get the one tier above normal. I think that's extra, because the premium one with the classics and the streaming, it's like on paper it's cool. When you actually play it, you're not gonna play. You're not gonna. It's just. It's one of those things that sounds cool, and then once you actually put it into practice, you're like, meh. It's whatever. Maybe to play some PS3 games you might have missed out on, but they're missing so many PS3 games. Like, there's Resistance 3, you don't get 1 or 2. None of the old Killzone games like Killzone 2 or 3 aren't on there, and they're better than Shadowfall. That's for sure. The old Ratchet and Clank games I don't think are on there, or at least the older one. The Ratchet and Clank remasters aren't on there. Like, there's a lot of there are a lot of things that are not on there. I feel like they don't have the God of War collection, I think. I don't think they have the God of War collection or the PSP collection on there. It was so many games that they could have had, and they don't. So that shit kind of disappointed me. Anyway, let's move on to the last story for today. Once I can actually see it, because I have a horrible habit of clicking the wrong thing. Oh, this! Call of Duty sells a metric shit ton, surprising literally nobody. Now, why did I want to talk about this? I don't know, because I'm trying to find news articles to pad the time, but more importantly, I'm not going to ask why do people keep buying the same shit, because it's the same shit. But this number still isn't higher than what GTA 5 did. It's like, to clarify what this means, they sold $100 million, or Call of Duty made $800 million bucks within the first 3 days of it being out, which is fucking insane. Still not more than GTA 5, which I think did like 1 billion or over 1 billion, which is crazy, but I think that game deserved it. It's just that when I see this, I'm like, yo, man. I was talking about it with a friend yesterday. You know, there's been a mainline Call of Duty entry every single year since 2005. Wait, when did Call of Duty 2 come out? Hold on. Wait, I could be tripping. Call of Duty 2. Yeah, okay, yeah. There's been a mainline Call of Duty entry every year since 2005, and somehow it doesn't stop. Like, I think for a lot of us, especially, I think this could easily be said to like my channel. They're taking a break. Are they? Are they actually? Or is that something they just said? But you know, is that something that they just said, but we don't know? They're, you know, like, I'll believe it when I see. Like, that's one thing they said. I can understand that, but also on the flip side, I can imagine that somebody on top is going to go like, "Hey, you guys made 800. Goddamn, my nose is itchy." Yeah, well, Microsoft, that acquisition hasn't finished yet, has it? Because like that, I don't think that didn't finish. I think like that's still in process. So if that finishes, then I guess we'll see. But also on the flip side, when you see numbers like that, I almost, how do I put it? I almost wouldn't blame them if they decided to say, fuck that, we're making more money. Because look at that number. You know, you want to know what I do with $800 million? I'd have the fucking Hawaiian Punch fountain from Mr. Deeds. Like, that's so much money. Oh, God. And then also I feel like the refocusing on the quality of the product, I feel like that was a reaction to Call of Duty Vanguard, because people didn't like that one. But I think that's just because like Sledgehammer sucks. But let me also clarify, or at least say my stance on Call of Duty. I used to play Call of Duty a shit ton. The last time I played it was Modern Warfare 2, circa 12 years ago. That was the last time I played it, like a lot. And ever since then, I casually enjoy the campaigns. They're fun. They're like good mindless fun. With that being said, you know, I'll
play this whenever it goes on sale for like $20 or something, or if it comes to Game Pass. Black Ops 3. Black Ops 3's campaign was kind of whack. It had the guy from Law and Order though, but I thought the campaign was meh. I didn't play the multiplayer, so keep that in mind. I'm sure the multiplayer was fun. Treyarch, I think up until like, what was it, like Black Ops 4? They were kind of killing it, right? I think. And then Cold War was kind of like iffy, but that was also because they had to like shit out. They had to like shit out a Cold War like stupid fast. Because I think Sledgehammer was supposed to do like the game that should have been out in Cold War's place, but then there was like I think there was like a workplace issue involving like sexual harassment or all the bad things that at this point aren't surprising when people talk about them. Nonetheless, like, I don't hate Call of Duty. In fact, I'm not even gonna say, I think saying I don't hate means that I don't like. I think Call of Duty's alright. I think it's alright. Like, I think for an enriching, is that a word? Yeah. Fulfilling competitive multiplayer experience. This is probably the one place you shouldn't look for that. But I mean, clearly I'm wrong because $800 million. Like I used to work at a Best Buy, and how do I put this? I feel like when we're on the internet, when you're on the internet, you're more likely than not to hear a negative discourse around Call of Duty and people saying that it sucks and, like all that kind of stuff, like, or talking about how shitty Madden or FIFA is, or, or NBA 2K, like these huge titles, big titles, like. But imagine that for every one person that wants to shit on it, there are like 50 people who don't. And outside of that, because that was, they were good. Like, once again, I'm not going to say that they're bad. I don't think they're bad. It's just that, I think the general discourse online, or like, you're more likely than not, if you go to a comment section about Call of Duty, people are going to shit on it, right? But when I worked in Best Buy, there'd be people, you would have so many people who would buy nothing. Every year, I would only see them a couple times a year to buy video games. So I worked at Best Buy for like 2.5 years. And you only see these customers coming for Call of Duty, Madden, FIFA, NBA 2K. And if they came in more, it was for VC, which is the virtual currency for NBA 2K, or V-Bucks for Fortnite. Like, that was this. It's so many people, Oh God, like I understand Sony's concern when they're like, hey, if Microsoft gets Activision, we're not gonna get Call of Duty, and Call of Duty is one of those games that, like, Call of Duty is just one of those games that if you take it off a platform, people won't be on that platform, because there are people like God of War is awesome, Spider-Man's awesome. I've been playing Returnal on and off. Returnal's pretty fucking good. Ratchet and Clank is awesome. Like, Horizon's awesome. Ghost of Tsushima's awesome. Like, these games are great. They're cool. They're, even though like some of them get a little samey, but they're great. They're not Call of Duty. They're not Madden. They're not FIFA. They're not 2K. Like, that's, so I understand Sony's concern, even though Sony's like whole thing is built on exclusives and keeping it on their platform. But comparing God of War to Call of Duty, it's not even close, man. It's not even fucking close. Like, God of War is going to be a big thing next week, and probably for a month people are going to talk about it. This is going to be the same story next year, or 2 years from now if they take the break. The beta for Modern Warfare 2 remake was spicy. I saw it, and I was like, yo, this looks, for better or worse, it's the fucking same. It looks really nice. Like, graphically, it looks nice. that's just, there's no debate about that. But multiplayer wise, I'm like, this looks like the same brainless, frustrating experience that I have come to associate with Call of Duty, at least for multiplayer. Like when I played Modern Warfare 2, I had fun. I had fun until I didn't. Like that was because at a certain point, it's like this in every multiplayer game. So I don't want to say it's just a Call of Duty specific problem, but metas and Call of Duty's time to kill is so like excruciatingly low. At least back then, I don't know how it is now. But it was good. It was good. But then eventually got to a point where I'm like, I'm sick of this shit. Like, I'm sick of this. I really don't. Let me also clarify. I really don't play competitive shooters all that much anymore, if at all. Like nowadays, if I play a game, I'm either playing something. I'll play through a game, like a single player game that I played through before, because I want to. Like I've been recently playing through Batman Arkham Knight again because it's good, it's fun, I like it. But when it comes to like putting day in, day out on like the same game like this, last time I really got into a competitive shooter, as I'll say time and time again, was Overwatch in like 2017. I had fun, but then it's like day in, day out doing the same shit over and over again. It's like, nah, man, like I different strokes for different folks. I want to at least get different experiences when I play my games. Granted, I play a lot of fucking Elden Ring. or Souls likes or stuff like that, but at least within each one of them is like a different experience. So if I move on from Elden Ring and then play, I don't know, fucking Neo, and then move on and play Thymesia, even though the game's kind of meh, but it's different experiences as opposed to like doing the same thing every single day. That's that just, I don't know, to me, from my perspective, it kills the excitement out of gaming. It just kills all the excitement from seeing new things and having new experiences and all that kind of stuff. Even though I do go back and play some of the old things, but if it's just like, I've definitely been in a situation where you work a full-time job, you come home and you just want to play a game that cuts to the fucking chase, that you could just chill and have fun with, even though this shit ain't fun to me, at least when it comes to the multiplayer. That's just frustrating. But I get it. COD is for Friday nights for when the boys get off work. Yeah. Sorry, yeah. So that, I understand that. I totally get it. Like, I will still say that at least the vast majority of COD lobbies I hear are people cursing at the game. I still find it kind of weird. I'm just saying, I still find it slightly weird that I would come off things go to black real quick. I still find it kind of weird that I would come off an 8-hour, 9-hour shift and then want to get angry with the boys. Like, or hope that we have fun, like that kind of thing. But that, I think at that point I'm just like inferring too much on other people. I get it, and I've been there. For me, it was fucking. I remember when I was like working fucking 10, 11-hour shifts. I would come, or like it'd be anywhere from like 8 to 11-hour shifts. I would come home, beat, and I would just listen to podcasts and play fucking American Truck Simulator. So I guess the other perspective is that shit looks boring, and it kind of is, but it's also relaxing, and it's not about like having a drink, listening to a podcast, and just driving a truck. That's really relaxing. And you couldn't really do that in real life because drinking while driving is deadly. Nonetheless, Call of Duty makes a shit ton of money. Once again, surprising literally fucking nobody, but this is a Call of Duty record, I think, right? This is the just announced the Call of Duty mode. Yeah. So this is the biggest Call of Duty yet. We also have to adjust for inflation slightly because $70. But I think the last two Call of Duties were also $70. So, take it for what it is. Still, there was obviously like a veritable amount of hype leading up to this one's launch, especially because the Modern Warfare remake, reboot, whatever you want to call it. I think it'd be a reboot. Yeah, these are reboots because a remake would be that it'd follow in the same footsteps as the original with some changes to it. So I guess like modernize it, but it's like the campaign just doesn't even follow the same beats at all. So yeah, these like reboots or Modern Warfare reboots or whatever. I know that the MWCU, man. The Modern Warfare Cinematic Universe. The Modern Warfare reboot was like the best. I think that was like the best received game since Black Ops 2, right? Or the best received Call of Duty that people unanimously got behind. I think since Black Ops 2 or 1. Or sorry, since like Black Ops 2 or Modern Warfare 2. Like but Black Ops 2 was great. I played the multiplayer bit. I had a lot of fun with that. I always bring out that my favorite part of Black Ops 2 was that at that point I become kind of like disenchanted with when it comes to Call of Duty. So or I was no longer enamored. There we go. That's what I was trying to say. So I got on, I played the multiplayer for like 2 hours, had like a 3 point something or 4.0, somewhere close to 4.0 KD. And then I just stopped playing the game. So when my friends would get online, they would just see that you could compare your KD to your other people on the friends list. And I was the top one. I was like, because I had some really good matches. I am not that good at that game. So nonetheless, I think Modern Warfare, the Modern Warfare reboot was like the best received Call of Duty probably since Black Ops 2. I think Black Ops 2 or Modern Warfare 2. One where both like critically and or both from like the critics' perspective and the public's perspective, that everybody loved it. So to see this one just kind of blow up, I'm not surprised. Especially considering that you have to compare, like, if you compare Modern Warfare 2, right? Like, oh no, wait, no, Black Ops came out after Modern Warfare 2. I forgot. What up, Arson? Welcome in. I'm just talking about how Call of Duty makes a metric fuck ton of money. I think it's also the fact that this one came out after Vanguard, because like nobody liked the Vanguard. What? I'm trying to think what came out. It was Black Ops 4 that came out for Modern. Yeah, like no one liked Vanguard, so it's like people waiting for the next Modern Warfare, especially after at the very least, the last one kind of sucked dick, and then the other one before it was like, all right, I guess. So that's not surprising. Nonetheless, I think that about wraps up what I have to say about that. So, and I'm going to be out of the loop on this topic, but we have some time left over to talk about it. I want to talk about the Bayonetta shit. All the shit that happened with the Bayonetta voice actress. I'm mega late on this, but I feel like I should talk about it considering I made a goddamn 31-minute video about Bayonetta. So, I guess to preface this, I love Bayonetta. I fucking love Bayonetta. I haven't gotten the third one yet, just because, I'm trying to, it's just, I'm not ready to play it yet. When that time comes, I will absolutely dog it down. I adore Bayonetta. I don't often, like 100% completion those kinds of games. At least, going through playing, well, I usually tend to play through them every single difficulty, but like, to grind it and then fight the optional boss in both Bayonetta 1 and 2. I love Bayonetta so much. It's such a good game. So when I'll never forget when I saw the news about the Bayonetta voice, like when she put the thing out on Twitter talking about how they were trying to like screw her over with the pay. I ever since the Pro Jared situation, I have definitely learned to just wait for the other side. You wait for the other side of the story. That's because the Pro Jared, that that whole shit with Pro Jared was fucking wild. And everyone was like, yo, he's like, you know, this dude's like kind of a pedo, or he grooms, he's a pervert, all this kind of shit. And then he comes back out like, oh, by the way, these motherfuckers are full of shit. And that was, and here's like the images and the receipts to prove it, as opposed to me just saying shit. It's like, lesson learned. Don't never get on the internet bandwagon. Never. At least when it comes to things like that, never get on the internet bandwagon. So I remember I was taking a dump. I was on Twitter, or not on Twitter, but I was taking a dump. I saw the thing came up. I hit the link. It took me to Twitter. I was watching her video, and she was like, oh yeah, they were only going to pay me $4,000. And like, just to clarify, I don't know how much voice actors get paid. I think it's kind of like a somewhat agreed upon thing that they don't get paid enough. But in her case, which we will learn, I think that's something that most people agree on, is like, we don't know how much they get paid, but I think it's been more often than not the case that they don't get paid enough. But she somehow managed to fuck up so hard that the conversation stopped being about that. So, she said she was only going to get paid $4,000, and this is like her first post, and then she asked for fans to boycott the game, which I found hilarious, because I was like, man, that sucks, but yeah, I'm sorry, I'm gonna buy the game. Like, get fucked. Yeah, I waited 8 years for this goddamn sequel, and yeah, we will get to that part, Arson. We will definitely get to that part. But it's like, yeah, I've been waiting 8 years for this sequel. You're not the only person who worked on this game, but I'm not even trying to justify it. I don't even want to justify. Let's say that she was telling the truth. Whether or not she was telling the truth, I'm still gonna buy the game. I'm sorry. I care, but I don't care. I want to play the game. Like that sucks for you. But I'm here for the product. Like I care about the people, but I'm here for the product. Like that's I'm just gonna be honest about it. Like that you know, that's the end of that. So, I think Hideki Kamiya, the director of of Bayonetta and all around fucking psycho, sort of, well, not psycho, like, the man is responsible for so many of the games that I hold near dear to my heart, but his Twitter is fucking wild. Like, I think he'll ban anybody that either disagrees with him or doesn't doesn't speak Japanese. It's pretty fucking funny. But he puts out a tweet saying something like, full story isn't, you didn't get the full story or some shit like that. And I was like, that is true. Didn't get the full story. Lo and behold, like a couple days later, once again, the man, Jason Schreier, doing the journalism thing. Fucking, he is definitely a character. But when somebody makes Devil May Cry, Beautiful Joe, Bayonetta, I think, did he have a hand in Okami? Let me check. Okami. Yeah, he did. Yeah, he fucking did. Yeah, when you have that, like, bro, a part of me is like, yo, you can do whatever the fuck you want, man. Like, this, so many bangers. Let's throw that up. So lo and behold, Jason Schreier does the journalism thing, finds out that she was trying to get paid like six figures, or at least according to what other people were saying, and documentation. She wanted six figures and royalties. And it's like, oh, okay, once again, the conversation, at least when it comes to the six figures, could be about whether or not they're getting paid properly. I mean, Bayonetta is definitely guaranteed to sell, that's for sure. I don't know how much. Bayonetta is pretty fucking niche, I think. Like, it is definitely a AAA game. It is definitely not a small game. But it is still a niche thing, right? Like, like, my YouTube channel is modeled after, granted, it's a lot of Elden Ring content, but because it's fresh and we're trying to grow. But also because I have a shit ton of fun with the game. It's my channel is action games, action RPGs, and Souls likes. Like that's in the about section. That's what my channel is going to be about, or is about, and will continue to be about. So, seeing I like in my head, I thought there'd be more crossover between like, oh, if you play like Souls likes and then you play Bayonetta, I was wrong. I was wrong. But then I looked it up. Like a friend and I looked it up, like how Bayonetta videos are on YouTube in general. They're not big. They're not big, which, isn't going to stop me because I have fun. Like that video was a blast to do. And I think it's a great video. So, we'll still have more videos like that coming out every now and then. But nonetheless, Bayonetta is kind of like a niche thing, right? So I don't know how much money it actually made. She said it was a $450 million franchise. I don't know if I believe that. That's the thing. I don't know. God damn, I don't know. Nose always itchy when I stream. I don't know if I believe that number. It's like hard for me to believe that number. Because wouldn't that put it above things like... I feel like that would put it above Souls likes. Like at least the FromSoft games, if Bayonetta was that big. But it's not. It's fucking not. Bayonetta is not... Bayonetta is not Elden Ring. Bayonetta is not, Dark Souls or fucking Bloodborne or Sekiro or whatever we want to talk about. Like, it's not as big as those games. Maybe it's because, the exclusivity of the second and third game. Maybe that's something to do with it. I know she's in Smash, but, so is fucking Mr. Game & Watch, and who talks about that? So I didn't know how much I believe that number. Anyway, lo and behold, she wanted a shit ton more money, like crazy amount more. So then the subject, so then it was like, okay, so you said, so in her video, yeah, it was on the Wii U. And then even when they put it on the Switch, it wasn't a thing that sold all that much. Yeah, like it wasn't too high. So I'm wondering if it was a 450, like let's say that it is a $450 million franchise, where's that value coming from? Like, are we just talking about the games, or are we talking about like, they sell Bayonetta action figures or some shit, which I don't think they do, but they sell statues, but not action figures, or fucking like Bayonetta movie coming to a theater near you, and Bayonetta themed Jeep Grand Cherokee. I don't fucking know. Like, whatever it may be. I don't think it's that big of a franchise. Because if $450 million, it will literally be, I feel like that's bigger than fucking like Zelda or something. Like Nintendo doesn't do numbers like that, if I'm not mistaken, unless it's Smash Bros or Mario Kart. if I'm not mistaken. I guess it was the fact that she chose to withhold what she was asking for. Like, oh, I just wanted what I was worth. Do you have to get a specific dollar amount? I don't think you do. But when now the counterclaim is that like, well, we wanted you on board. We were going to pay you more than what we paid you for the previous game. And you wanted, I think getting royalties is fucking insane. We're getting royalties for that kind of stuff is insane. Like, I don't even think actors get royalties for movies. I think they just get bonuses based on how well the movie performs. Like, that's, and keep in mind that for a movie, like voice actors are important. I'm not trying to undersell that, but for a movie, the actor is the movie. For a video game, the voice actor is but one facet of that game. Like, for Robert Downey Jr. and Iron Man, he's on screen most of the fucking time talking. It is him being there that is a massive point of the movie, as opposed to in this Helena Taylor's case, I can switch the voice to Japanese and she no longer exists in my game. Like, that's Also, if I play in English, I can skip the cutscenes and that's no longer applicable. I could play with the volume down and it's no longer applicable. Like, if you get what I mean. So I don't think that's asking for royalties is like fucking insane. So, instead of providing documentation, she just says that's not true, because that works. So I think at that point the public were like, "This bitch is crazy. She's crazy, crazy." And then I made this joke in my Bayonetta video where I said that the English voice act or having the English on is my favorite because we get to hear the voice of somebody who lied to us. I thought it was a good joke. I still think in terms of the Bayonetta role, let me clarify. She did a fucking it's a perfect job, great job, awesome job. When I saw that she wasn't in the, it's funny because I was doing the playthrough. I was playing the game for the She was playing for the sake of sorry. I was playing the game for the sake of recording the Bayonetta video the night before all that shit came out. So I remember looking at Bayonetta 3 on Wikipedia and I saw it was Jennifer Hale that was doing the voice. I'm like, what happened? Why'd they change the voice? And the next day that whole shit came out. I'm like, oh damn. And then somehow she made a whole big kerfuffle over fucking nothing. Like, because then it turned out that they were going to pay her $4,000 to do a cameo after she had already declined the position or the offer. And now Jennifer Hale was doing the voice. They were still going to pay her $4,000 for like one fucking session that was like, what, 2 hours long or 1 hour long to just reprise or to do a cameo. And she still didn't want it. Yo, imagine $4,000 for 1 hour of work. What the fuck? That'd be sick. That'd be so sick. I mean, once again, we could talk about how much you're worth, but $4,000 for 1 hour or 2 hours. That's fucking sick. I'm just saying. Like, I get if you got $4,000 to do a whole game's worth of stuff and you're looking at weeks and weeks of work and you got paid $4,000, that's pretty fucked up. We're talking about $4,000 for just a line or like a fucking like 3 sentences or something for 1 or 2 hours of work to get paid $4,000. There are people who suck dick and make way less than that. In fact, they make nowhere near that much. Like, it's back on point. So, it's crazy how, was she expecting them to not say anything about it? Unionize. Yeah, dick suckers unite! I wonder, like, what was she expecting that they wouldn't say anything in return because NDAs and all that kind of stuff? Who knows? But all it took was for like that dude, excuse me, that dude Jason Schreier didn't even have to show documentation. He just had to go, thankfully he has a reputation of not, of doing the damn thing. Go like, hey, yo, I got this stuff. And people are like, yo, what the fuck? And then she just says that's not true. And then afterwards proceeds to say, I know at some point later on, she says something along the lines of, like, first she was like, I don't want to talk about this anymore. Then she put out another video or put out another tweet saying that she never misled anyone and that she was always telling the truth and that she always said that it was going to be 4,000 per session when this motherfucker she was telling the truth by omission, which BT dubs is a fucking lie. One of the things I believe was it was 4,000 per session. Like, that's what she was trying to make it sound like she was always doing that. And that was not the case. Like, that was like that was it's like she in her video, I remember I was on the toilet fucking shitting looking at the video. She said they were going to pay her $4,000 for the job. That's it. Just as in general, how, like, do you think, Johnny on the toilet over here is gonna know that she means, oh, of course, when she says for the job, she meant per session, which technically would mean they pay you 15 to 20,000 for the job. It's, yeah, half truths are lies. Yeah, it's like, it's a truth by omission. That's what it is. It's a truth by omission. Like, yeah, they're gonna pay you for the job. By the job, you meant per session. So, you know, like that's, but obviously you're not gonna say that bit. So it's a fucking lie. Like it's so dumb. These dudes just lie and fuck their future. And reminds me of the Doom guy. God damn. Oh yeah, Mick Gordon. Yeah, that same shit happened with Mick Gordon. Fucking itchy. God damn. That same shit happened with Mick Gordon. And that was a shame. That one was also, I think that's a bigger shame because the Doom soundtrack is so fucking good, man. But then he like came out, was talking about how, you know, oh, there's not time, or people are wondering like, oh, why is the version of the soundtrack they released like mega compressed and doesn't sound very good? And then they're like, yo, you know, and then he talks about, oh, they just released and they didn't tell me. And then dude fucking comes out just like, yo, you had a deadline and you did not meet that deadline and you stopped being in contact with us. And we have to meet the fucking deadline. Otherwise people can sue us for not providing the product that was sold. Like that was, why? I understand. Hey, listen, I guitar music. I mean, definitely don't do it to the level that Mick Gordon does, but like, I understand the like artistic integrity and the process, and you know, it's your baby, and you don't want to fuck it up. But like, you know, when you have a deadline, you got a deadline. Like I view these YouTube videos that I upload as like creative works. Like I enjoy doing them. You know, I put like my personality is in that kind of stuff. I also have a deadline of every Tuesday at 2 p.m. So they better be fucking done by Tuesday at 2 p.m. So it's like, that's, you know, at a certain point, you just got to let it go. But anyway, yeah, they say those high level voice actors get paid around 4K a session, maybe a bit more. It was a Bayonetta's a AAA game. If that's AAA pricing, then like, you know, once again, the argument could come up whether or not that's good pay or not enough, right? Like, let's say like GTA 5. Like at GTA 5, they paid their voice actors $4,000 per session. Like for Frank, Trevor, and Michael, they paid only $4,000 per session. I honestly think that'd be robbery. For how much money? That game made $1 billion in 3 days. Like, just saying, as an example, we don't know how much they got paid, but you know, especially for them, they use their likenesses, motion capture, the whole 9 yards. If they got paid $4,000 per session, I think that would have been pretty fucked up. Also, because we know that the budget that went into GTA 5 was like in the hundreds of millions. Like I think it was like, they said it was like between 200 or 300 million. Right. So that would have been robbery. But at the same time, like, so that, let's say if that was the case, right? Not saying it is. The argument or the talk about whether or not voice actors get paid properly, that's still a debate. But somehow, so I guess to wrap up the story, she lies to everyone, then proceeds to say that she was always telling the truth, which is another lie, and then afterwards still goes, "Hey, but you should still boycott the game." Like, you should still boycott the game. I remember one thing she said too was when she did the original little like thing of videos, she was also saying that, oh, they're probably gonna make a spin-off game with the new character. Don't buy that either. Like that. I feel like you got some like fucking cojones to just being like, yeah, don't buy that. Don't support these people. They're terrible. That's all. Like, I get it, but especially just coming from the perspective, I get if they did you dirty. Fucking I respect that. I get it. I understand it. But when you know you're full of shit, that takes some fucking cojones, man. Like that's bold. And then speaking of which, after everybody knows that she's been lying, she goes, "I was never lying. I was always telling the truth." And in doing so, was lying. She then tells people to take the money that they were going to spend on the game and donate it to an anti-abortion group who are known to be cocksuckers. So it's like, and let me no, I don't even care. I support abortion rights. Like I'm not gonna get political or stuff, but I don't want to be like I'm on the fence of this subject. I'm definitely not. But there's how do I put it? I respect people to be against it. I respect that. I respect that opinion. But you have to also, it's like, read the fucking room. If you lie to everyone, then you tell them to donate to an anti-abortion group, which at least when you're on the internet or when you're on Twitter, there's a lot of back and forth. Twitter's a dump. Twitter's a fucking dump, right? But when you're on there talking about that stuff and then you throw this in there, you've like somehow invited another can of worms that makes you look even worse. That's wild, man. That is wild. She's making it worse for voice actors to defend themselves and to advocate for themselves. I hope that's not the case. I get that. Yeah, probably, because now people are going to be like, oh, what about that Helena Taylor thing? Like, it's the same thing as like with Pro Jared and Angry Joe. Pro Jared, those people came out or were like, yo, Pro Jared's he was trying to like groom me. He was sending dick pictures after I didn't ask for them. He's a pervert and like, I guess kind of a pedo or whatever, or a pedophile, whatever we want to say. And then they did not the same exact thing with Angry Joe, but there was like some chick that came out and was like, oh, Angry Joe sexually assaulted me. He was trying to force himself on me, all that kind of shit. And you have those two situations where the people quickly get found that they were 100% full of shit. 100% full of shit. And what happens, and this is the problem with like going with, there's a problem with just like immediately believing the first story you hear, because there's always two sides, right? Immediately believing everything you hear, and is that when you inevitably, no one likes to be wrong, right? Like, I mean, who does, right? No one likes to be wrong, but when you feel like that you just got played, then you become so jaded to when it's actually the truth. Creepy ain't a crime. True. Creepy ain't a crime. It's just, I hate that, but it's true. I think when you feel like you got burned on it, so like for the Pro Jared thing or the Angry Joe thing, if you're like, oh yeah, these guys are pieces of shit, and then you find out that the accusers were like super lying, or for Pro Jared's case, one of them was actually fucking nuts. Like that was, like I never forget, man. Pro Jared was like, he had the story to talk about one of them and all the times where they were full of shit, and the other one he was like, I literally don't know you. Like that was yeah. He said, yeah, same to me too. Definitely included. And it was like after that situation, like I said before, after that situation, it's like you hear some wild shit. And it's like, wow, that's fucked up. If true. Like, we'll wait. We'll wait to see what happens. We'll wait to hear the other side. I think that's why our justice system is innocent until proven guilty, because the court of public opinion will shoot on sight. And so that's, with this voice actor thing, when I was taking a dump, I already kind of like, I'm still going to buy the game anyway, regardless of whether or not what she was saying was true. But even hearing what she said, and immediately this guy puts out a tweet going like, yo, that, there's not, wait for the truth to come out. It's like, yeah, he's right. He's 100% right. Whether or not, like, let's say he was full of shit, and the truth was actually they were going to only pay her $4,000 for the whole thing. Still, you wait for the whole story. You don't know. And so I imagine, like, for that, in this case, her complaining about the pay in the future, people be like, oh yeah, Helena Taylor did that shit too, and she was full of it. And, you're going to run into situations where that will actually be a problem. And, you'll get those fucking idiots on the internet that'll like, kind of shoot them down. And I think that really, I think it's one thing to kind of like have the, you know, it takes courage. Have the courage to like speak out against something when like there's potential legal repercussions, you know, career repercussions, whatever it may be. But you're speaking out for something that you know, believe is right. And that's, let me clarify, this goes on both sides of the fence, right? So, you know, something that you believe is right or the way that you feel or however it may be. I respect that. It takes courage. But fuck, you better not be lying. Like, that's all. You know, you better not be lying. And then on top of that, it's gonna, especially when you do it and you're telling the truth, and you have so many people shouting you down saying that you're full of shit because of the time before where they believe somebody who said the same thing and that person was full of shit. That's rough, man. That's fucking rough. I mean, I haven't been in a situation like that. I hope to never be in a situation like that, but that's fucking rough. Like that's, you know. Anyway, that's going to wrap things up for today. Let's see, what video did I put out this week? Oh yeah, the Halloween video. Is Souls Like Horror? It's a fun video. It's a fun video. I think it's fun. I think it's funny. Of course, because I made it, so you know, it's gotta be great, right? Check it out if you haven't already. Next week is going to be a build guide. So I'm super excited about this one because it's going to be just like different than my other build. I mean, I like to think they're all different from each other, but you know, this one's going to be a bit different since I'm doing them slightly less often now. Or less often now, yeah. I'm trying to make sure that when I put them out, you kind of get like your, you know, bang for buck, even though they're free. But still, I think that's about it. Until next time, yeah, that's it. That's definitely it. Also, oh, fuck, yeah. Big announcement will be announced on next video. Next video. On Tuesday's video, this coming Tuesday's video, big ass announcement. That's it. It was spoopy. But thank you to more Arson, Nanya, Two Dads, everybody who stopped by. Until next week when we do the same thing, don't forget to always, as I slowly click over to the thing to end the stream, wipe before you until next time, don't forget to always wipe. Oh wait, fuck, what's my outro? Oh yeah, I've been FistTruck, and don't forget to always wipe before you shit. And now I click